Hello friends! Welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be talking about these products I picked up recently in my summer Amazon haul. I bought all of these products myself, and I just wanted to add some extra stuff to my planner stash. Saw so many cute things and just kind of collected them and decided to share them with you guys to see if there's anything you may like. This should be releasing during the Prime Day sale during the summer. So if you are interested, do check out the links. They'll be in the description below. Hopefully some of these companies will be having a sale during Prime Day so you can get a good deal. But I am fairly frugal and tend to look for deals. So most of these products are not going to break the bank either way. With that, I think we're ready to jump in. So let's get started. Okay, so the first item we're going to start with is this silicone clear stamp set that I got. I do like to get stamps every once in a while, and I have a lot of PET tape stickers in this kind of film design. So I thought this would be a nice way to match up with those. You can create frames, obviously, for other stickers using these, but I was also just thinking backgrounds, like just stamping as a background image behind some of those other film style stickers that I got. So that's why I picked them up, and hopefully I'll get a chance to use them. I would say this is about maybe 1.5 to 2 inches. This larger square, that gives you a little bit of a reference for sizing. So these are fairly small. These are definitely under, I would say, 1 inch. Another product I'm excited to try out and just see how they enhance my spreads. I also got these Bible verse stickers. Now these, I will say, were a little bit expensive in my opinion for stickers. I want to say when I bought them, they were maybe like $8. So I'm just going to take a look and see what I get with these. I think this is a small shop, so I was a little bit more willing to pay the price. Plus, I'm always on the hunt for faith stickers for my planner setups, so I thought it might be worth it. So what you get are 2 kind of cursive style sheets, as you see here. I'm looking at the cutting on these, and it looks like they're just like box cut. So let's see if I can lift this up. Yeah, so they're like cut into boxes. They're not kiss cut, I think is the term, but where they cut the outline of the text. So they're all kind of cut in squares somehow, or rectangles. And they're like a washi tape style sticker. So yeah, so that's pretty much what you're getting all around. Not clear. I think I was thinking these were clear, so that's a little bit of a disappointment. However, these ones are fine, the cursive style, but I really bought them for the typewriter ones because I really love typewriter font. Shout out to Elizabeth. She knows who I'm talking about, or she's watched this video. She's in her typewriter font phase as well. But I really like the styling of these, and I could do this myself. It just takes so long to set things up. So sometimes you just want to buy things and be done with it, and that's the case for these. So these ones look really cool. Again, they are cut in like straight boxes, so with, just hard lines, no kiss cut. Okay, next is this washi tape, which isn't fairly new to me. This is a rebuy. I have already a roll of this, but I just really like the style of it. It is a vertical script washi. And as you can see, it's fairly versatile in my opinion, these black and white script washis. I can layer these over florals. I can layer them over boxes. Any kind of like vintage style spreads. So they really come in handy and add that little bit of texture to the layouts that I always crave. And this is a lot. It does repeat basically just this one, I don't know, section here is a repeat throughout the entire roll. If you could see. And then you get a ton. So I know I rebuy because I'm always worried I'm going to run out, but I'm probably not going to run out of this anytime soon. But I do like to have it on hand, especially when I saw it as a good deal, because sometimes the prices jump up, and I think I was a little bit worried about tariffs and stuff, so I just went ahead and bought an extra one so I'd have it in my stash. But this is a great roll if you are looking for just some added textures to add to your setups. And next we have this set of pressed floral stickers that I got from Canade. This is a pretty good brand. I've seen and used some of their products in the past from Amazon, and I haven't been disappointed. I think they get most of their stuff from the same places that Journal Say and others get their stuff. So I got this set. We've got 1, 2, 3. That one looks like it's kind of purpley. 4, 5, yellow. This is really yellow. You got a pink and then like this kind of deeper green tone. So these are the colors that you get. And I was just going to get like one set, but I thought it would be really nice to do kind of like a rainbow spread with these types of florals. I really do like that pressed florals look, and they combine well. They are PET tape stickers, so each one, I'm going to pull one out so you can see, is die cut, and it looks like you get 2 of each style in the pack. With PET tape, well, they're pretty opaque as opposed to some other clear stickers, so they're really great for layering as well. So I'm really excited about these. I'm sure I'm going to create something cute with this, at least at some point before summer's over, and then I'll probably bring them back out next spring. We're already getting some ideas on what I might want to do with these. Next, I bought these Post-it notes, and I just thought that the colors were really cool looking. I think the colorway was called Vintage. So when we pull them all out, there's actually 12 in here, so you're only seeing half of the colors. Here are the colors that come inside of that 12 pack. Really do like the, I don't know, just subtle tones that are provided that aren't like bright Post-it traditional, in your face tones. So I thought that these would be really cute to mix in. I always have a need for this size of Post-it notes, so excited for these. And I'm just going to rip one off and see how it does. They come off really easily, which is nice. They're not like super sticky where you really curl the paper when you pull it off. And they stick down pretty nice as well. So I'm excited for these. These actually look like they're very good quality and will hopefully serve me well in the future. Okay, next we're going to talk about these Mildliners. And these guys, I think came out last year. They already came out with another colorway this year that I haven't gotten, so I'm a little bit behind on keeping up with the Mildliner colors, but I wanted to get this set since I don't think I have these yet. I will say it was really hard to tell though, because I have some that are similar in tone but not exactly these, so we will see what these look like, and I'll quickly swatch them using my little swatch guide that I gave away for free during my Write Tech video in case you are looking for something similar. Basically, I make these little boxes and then I swatch them, cut them down, and then put them directly on the pen so that I can see the color without having to swatch them every time. So let's start off with the pink. See what color this is. Do this have the names on these? Yeah, so this one says it's baby pink. And this one is honey orange. And then we've got sherbet yellow. That one almost looks fluorescent. It's got a very green tone to it. And then we've got soda blue. That's a pretty one. And then lilac. So that one's a little bit redder than the purples that I normally have. So those are the 5 colors. Let me just kind of test the ones that I wasn't really sure if it was a close enough color to it and see what I come up with. Yeah, so this one's more blue. And a lot of these I can't tell you the names of the actual color because they're in Japanese. That's why I wasn't really sure if I had these yet or not. But that one was a close one. I also have this guy that looks kind of close and similar. So let's see if this is... Yeah, and this one's just lighter. It's like more pale. So both of those are Japanese ones that I don't have the name for, but I think this one was like the mild lilac or something like that. Let me just try some. So the blue, this one's a pretty close blue cap-wise. But yeah, it's much lighter. I think this was actually part of this set right over here. So this is the lighter blue, so it's not the same. Good. I don't like to get repeats. I didn't think I did, but you never know. And then there is, can't quite tell. Oh, that's the fluorescent. So this should be the mild yellow. Yeah, and this one looks kind of fluorescent even into my eyes. So these look similar, but I think this one's a little bit darker. What else we've got? We've got the orange. Never mind. I don't think I have that orange. Closest one I have is a fluorescent orange. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, it's way more fluorescent. So I think this is the natural, or the new softer orange, the sherbet. What did that call this? I already forgot the name. Honey orange. And then the pink, the other one that I thought was fairly close to the cap color was this one. And yeah, it's just a more mild version. So I think that this one, maybe this one are like the mild versions. Okay. Guess I didn't get an orange in that color. Anyway, excited to add these guys to my stash. And basically, I'll just go ahead and set this up for it since I'm going to be swatching these. So I cut it down. And then what I do is I put a strip of Scotch tape along the edge and then cut them and stick them right onto the pens. So I'll do that off camera, but just so you know, that's how I do it. That way I don't have to take the pen cap off and swatch every time I want to pick a specific color. Okay, so next I got these friction wall or wally. I do not know how to pronounce that. Pens. I love friction pens, so if you follow my channel, you'll know I basically use only friction pens for any kind of writing because I constantly need to make adjustments and changes, and friction pens are race. So let's get these bad boys out. I'm going to try these on a different sheet of paper. A little bit about these guys. They are extra fine, 0.5 millimeter tip. So that's my preferred size of writing instrument for most things. So that'll work out nicely. And it looks like there are 8 different colors. So let's see what we've got. So here is the first one, which is a black. And the feel of these pens is really nice, actually. Even though it is a plastic pen, the handle is rubberized, so you get a little bit of a gripper on there. And then this is nice and smooth, the plastic. Let's get, I guess, a closer up so you guys know what I'm talking about here. Focus. So yeah, so this part here between my fingers is rubberized. And you've got this really nice plastic. But it's got the typical friction looseness here, which happens on the other kind of cheaper versions of these pens. So let's hope it's not too distracting. And then of course you've got the eraser tip. So I'll just write something below, and then if you need to erase, just use the tip and it disappears. Bam. Love friction pens. Let's go ahead and do the others. This one's kind of like a green-gray. This one is of olive green tone, baby blue, teal, peach. This is a nice pink. And then finally, between a cherry and a brick red. And I'm not really hearing the clicker, so that's good. I was worried that it was going to shake a lot as I was writing, but I'm not really hearing it. So love the colors. These are colors that you really can't get in the standard friction pens. That's what drew me to these. But I wanted to see what the barrels look like. Let's see if you can take them apart or not. Sometimes you can get these friction pens in the refillable. There we go. And oh, I'm really excited about this because this looks like it could go into a different, to any friction pen. So hang on, let me grab one. Okay, so this is what you normally can buy at the stores regularly, these friction clickers. And they're a little bit bigger and the aesthetic isn't quite as cute. So I'm just going to see if this refill though will work in this size pen because it looks like it's the same style of refill. And yeah, so the reason that I think that might be important is if you're like me and you don't want to carry a gazillion pens in your planner, this is the one that I use all the time, which is like an upgraded metal barrel version of this one here. If I wanted to have a color for a week or something like that, but I didn't want to replace the pen, if I just wanted to have it in there, it's kind of nice that I could just put this refill inside of it and use the same pen. I wanted the aesthetics of my planner to be the same. So that's a really cool feature. Just something you might be interested in if you are a friction fan like me and like to dabble with refills and stuff. I was hoping though that they were going to be able to mix in with my 4-color pen. So I have this other friction 4-color pen. These are the two that I always have on me. And this one has red, green, blue, and black, but the refills are the skinnier versions. So these won't be able to mix and match, which I'm a little disappointed about that because that would have been a really cool feature if they were using the smaller stick refills. However, you get a lot more with these pens and the colors are really cool. So I'm not going to complain too much, but that would have been a really nice added feature if these could have put into my 4-color pen as well. Okay, so those are my new friction pens. Excited for those. Hopefully I'll find some cool uses for these. So the next set of pens that I want to talk about are these Mart Color 3-color gel pens. I decided that I needed a new gold pen because mine is dried out, and then went ahead and got this set of 3 because they look very similar to the ones that I got from Journal Say recently, these white set of pens, these guys here, that I really liked and thought that, you know, if they have a similar look, they might be, you know, a similar style. These apparently are no longer being sold by Journal Say. You got like a set of 6 for an incredible price. So this might be a good alternative if not, and both look like they hold a ton of ink, which was one of the selling features for me for these pens here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a quick sample. I'll try this white pen real quick and just see how it covers. It looks very comparable to the one I just showed you from Journal Say, so that is great. If you need a white pen to just do any kind of whiting out of things on your planner, this is a very good option. And then we got the gold, which was really what I bought this set for because I need some gold. And I just like to add sometimes a little bit of confetti style, you know, texture to my spreads. And gold is a color that I like to use if I'm going to use a metallic. So we'll just add that in like that. Let's just see how it writes. I'll also write hello. The tip is a 1mm tip, so fairly heavy, but that works well for usually how I use these pens. And then we also have silver. Silver I really rarely use, but it is good to have it in my stash. This might be good for like Christmas cards, writing on colored paper. And so I usually like to have that as well. I feel like this one's a little bit thicker in my hand, maybe just the tip, you know what I mean? The flow of it, but that might just be me. Can you even see it? Disappears in my angle, but yeah, so that's the silver. That's the reason why I don't use silver very often, is because it's very hard to see when I'm looking at my planner. So those are the 3 pens that I'm using here in this setup, and I definitely think that these are worth a shot if you are looking for some gold metallic pens and or a new white pen. Okay, so now we have this set of Monami dual tip pens. I have a couple of sets of these already, but I don't have all of the colors, so I just went ahead and bought all of the colors basically in this setup. These are also a little bit different than the ones that I have because they have a bullet tip on one side and then a fine liner tip on the other side. So the ones that I have currently in my stash are similar but a little bit different. These ones have a chisel tip on one side and then the fine liner on the other side. So this one is just slightly different with the bullet tip, but I think they'll both be very handy when I set up my planner setups, just having the colors available. A lot of these are usually very small tipped, and so that makes it much easier when I want to do like a highlight in a small area, specifically in my hourly dashboard layout. So that is something that I keep in mind when I am looking for pens and how I'm going to use them. So let me go ahead and finish swatching these. I just went and started with the weird color, so let's just go with this. Ooh, I'm gonna have to put them back in the same order. I will do this later. I was just thinking this is gonna take a little bit of maneuvering because I'm gonna make sure that the right colors go on the right pens, and I don't want to mess that up. So we will just stick this guy in, flatten these out. But yeah, so I got quite a few colors here. I think this is a set of maybe 20 or 30 or 40, I mean. 36, okay. I'm excited for this pen set. So I got one more pen set or marker set that I'm super excited about. These are Artistro acrylic dual tip markers. And these definitely look different than what I was expecting, but I'm excited about these. I have a couple of sets of acrylic markers in different styles. The ones I found that I liked the best were the ones that almost have like a marker tip, which is similar to these ones. The ones that you don't have to actually push on the tip to make the ink flow. It's just kind of fed in with like that felt tip type of situation like a normal marker would be. And these ones have a brush tip and then also a bullet tip or a finer kind of point tip. So let's go ahead and just see how these look. Now these are acrylic markers, so they sit on the top of the page, but almost like a paint that sits on the top of the paper. So see, there's no bleed through. This is a light color, so I'll try another one. And it can be kind of layered for more opaqueness, but it's definitely more opaque than a standard ink. As you can see, I'm like going over it, and the dots that are part of the bullets are disappearing as I layer on more ink. So that is this really kind of fine color. Let's just do a quick sample of the colors here. Okay, so those are the colors swatched out, and I really do like the different colors that you get, kind of the vintagey retro colors and some more natural earthy tones as well that are mixed in with this set, which is a little bit different than the other set that I got, which is much more primary, kind of basic saturation color. So this is going to be a fun set to play around with. You can use these markers to help adjust paper stickers when the color isn't quite right and you want to change it up. So let's see if I can show you an example of how you might do that. Say this bee up here was a sticker. You can draw kind of over it and almost change the color of the image if you need to. Like if you have a sticker that would be perfect, but it's just not working with your color scheme, then you could go over it with these pens, kind of recolor it, make it work for your layout. If you let it sit for a second on the page, it kind of gets a little bit transparent, and then if you just layer a little bit more on top, then it becomes pretty much opaque and you can't see through it. So there's that, and then let's just pick it up, make sure that there's no bleed through, and there's none. So acrylic markers are awesome for paper planners like us. If you are using something on both sides of the paper and you don't want to worry about bleed through, these markers are great and give a nice rich kind of saturated matte tone onto your page. Some fun things to play around with and get creative with in your planner. So this next item is some calligraphy ink, and I've used another style of calligraphy ink, well, another brand in gold before, and I really liked it. So I decided to pick this one up. The one that I had before is pretty much dried out, so let's go to see how this one compares. It's by Winsor & Newton, which is a very popular watercolor brand. So let's see how their calligraphy inks are. This one I can tell right away is a little bit more orangey than the one that I had before. And basically, the way that I use it, I don't intend to write with this ink, but I will flick it onto a paper. Like I will saturate the brush, and then I'll do something like kind of like that, and just add some textures to my planner setups. I'm going to see how that dries. It should still be sitting on top of the paper. It does have a nice metallic to it, but like I said, it's a little bit more orange, almost like a bronzy orange compared to the gold that I had in my stash, which is a lot closer to the gold in this pen, which is more yellow gold. So we'll see if I can bring this in. It might be fun to play with some of the non-gold colors that I have stickers for from the Happy Planner. There's always some like random kind of bronzy gold toned metallics, or even like the rose gold might match a little bit better with this than the regular standard gold. So we'll see how that does. But it is a water-based calligraphy ink, if I'm not mistaken, because it does wash out. I'm just going to see if it says yeah, non-waterproof. And you need to shake it, of course, before and put the cap on tight. I thought I had the other one pretty much wrapped up, but I came back to use it a couple of weeks ago, and it was all dried out. And there was tons of ink in there, so I'm not sure if I can rehydrate it with some water or some other kind of solution. If you guys know how to rehydrate dried up calligraphy inks, let me know in the description below or in the comments. I'm really wanting to rehydrate that one because they can be kind of expensive. Anyway, let's see how this is drying. We're going to go on some of the lighter ones. Yeah, so it looks very similar as far as how it's drying on the page. It does take a bit for the bigger clumps to dry out, but the smaller ones are already pretty much dry. But there does seem to be a little bit of bleed through, which I am a little bit disappointed about, unless that's just water and will dry out. So I'll wait till this is completely dry, and then I'll check back and let you guys know how it did. Okay, one of the last things that I'm going to talk about, there's a few more items to discuss, but that are accessories, are these correction tapes. So these are a pack of 12 correction tapes by Mr. Pen. one thing I'm already not really caring for is the plastic that they used. It's very loud. Can you guys hear that? Hopefully you guys can hear it. And kind of cheap feeling, to be honest. Yeah, I may not keep these. The quality isn't quite what I expected as far as the feel of these. I do like the colors, which I thought would be kind of the selling point, but with this shiny kind of cheap plastic, it takes away from the aesthetic, in my opinion. But basically they are just basic pen correction tapes, and the size is standard. I don't know what size that is. Maybe like a 1/4 inch or a couple of millimeters. See, that says it on there. No. So I was going to sample it, but because I'm probably not going to keep it, I will just put it back in the box and return them. But if you are looking for something a little bit different in your correction tapes, then this set might be for you. I do like the colorway and how many you get for the price. Just not really that thrilled about the look and feel of these. Okay, lastly, I want to talk about this storage solution I found for the smaller sticker sets I've been getting from Journal Say and from other places as well, Amazon included. I found these I think these are A5 binders in a set of 3, and you get a 6-ring binder and a clear with a closure string, and I think you get both black and white, so you could choose what color you want. You get a set of 3 of these, just so you know. And then the inserts that I have really liked the most are these. Now, these are very expensive. They are from Briar TW or Briar Art W something. I don't know what that's short for, but as far as all of the ones that I've tried, these ones have been the best, and of course they're the most expensive, but they are definitely the best. So they have a couple of different styles. This is the 2-pocket version, and what I really like about these is that it has a flap at the top. So when you're turning your pages, your stickers don't slide out. That was the problem that I had with my previous setup, which let me show you for an example. The first organization system I found for these smaller stickers was this, and I got this from Hobby Lobby. You get this chipboard binder, which I'm not a big fan of, but the price was right, so I went ahead and got it. And it comes with these clear pockets, which you can also buy on Amazon separately, that are in this style for a very cheap price. And they're just open at the top, so you can slide things in, but there's nothing holding the stickers in. So if I turn this binder downward, sometimes stickers kind of slide out, and I don't like that. I do like the roominess of it, but like I said, it doesn't really help keep those stickers tucked in. So when I found these pockets, I really liked them a lot because of that feature, but they are slightly smaller than the ones I just showed you. I do really like these binders a lot better. I wish that the chipboard one I just showed you was more like this in this plastic clear. But let's go ahead and drop these in. You can see it's just a basic 6-ring A5 binder. They just go in there, and then you could stick whatever stickers you want in. So this is, like I said, the 2-pocket setup. I previously purchased another version in the same branded pocket sleeves in the 3-pocket version, and this is how they look when I have stickers in them. I really liked this one as well because it fit a lot of the smaller stickers in these pockets, and of course have the flap. But I did find that some of my stickers just would not fit in there, so I wanted to get another setup with more of these larger pockets, which work better for most stickers in my collection. But yeah, so this is my new solution for all of my like Journal Say purchases, and like those pressed florals I showed you earlier, those kinds of stickers. And it's just easy to, kind of search for what you need. You can see everything at a glance and pull it out. So I really like this as a sticker organization solution. The binders are really reasonable, but the pockets themselves are a little bit pricey for what you get. But in quality wise, if you want that extra quality, I do recommend these pockets over the other ones that I've seen available. Before we go, I just wanted to see how well this gold paint has set, or calligraphy ink has set. And honestly, it's pretty dry, most of it. This bigger swatch or splot here, as well as this one, is still drying. But it does seem like once they dry completely that the ghosting that I'm seeing goes away. So that must be just like a watermark or a moisture mark on the paper. So it is a really good find as far as those calligraphy inks. I really like using those to spice up specific spreads and just kind of add a little something to them. If you're interested in that, this one should work really well. And again, all of the links to the items that you just saw will be linked down below. So that's it, friends. All of the Amazon products that I recently picked up in my summer Amazon haul. If you guys are shopping Prime Day, do check out these products. Hopefully there'll be at least a few of these on sale. I know it really just depends on the company, but I just really think that these products are going to be awesome for future planning. And then also just the aesthetic of some of these is really cool. I'm excited to get to use these. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, to go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Bye!